Well, I last roofed this house 29 years ago and I used asphalt composition. And it was 40-year material, but you can see with all the trees around here, it was just a constant battle with moss. And of course that degraded the appearance and everything, so I decided I wanted to go to metal and then came to the conclusion that aluminum was the superior metal for the job. I decided it was time to do it when the shingles started to curl, and I still had 40-year material, but it obviously wasn't going to last another 10 years. And it was just deteriorating and was kind of an eyesore, so we decided this is the time to do it once and do it right. The old one had just gotten to look dingy and needed to be replaced. It was uneven and had moss growing on it, and so there is a dramatic difference in the way the house looks. Obviously, if you look at it now and compare it to the pictures that Paul took, you'll see a dramatic difference there. So it was just a moss magnet. I was up there 3 or 4 times a year killing the moss and sweeping it down and cleaning the gutters out and everything, and the aluminum offered I won't be having to do that in the future. My primary goal was to have a roof that I'd never have to do again. And of course aluminum is, we're never going to have to do it again. I'm 2-3 years from retirement and don't want to be put in that position to have to do it when I'm on a fixed income. And so that played a big part in the decision to go ahead and spend the extra for the aluminum and never have to do it again, and just something to put out of my mind, don't have to worry about. Well, I decided I wanted metal, and so the choice was between aluminum and steel, and I had concerns with the steel rust under the ridge caps and whatnot where they make field cuts. So aluminum was clearly a superior material in terms of corrosion resistance. So I had several firms out, and then Paul came out and we looked at the materials side by side, and it was clear that Interlock had the best material on the market. So I decided the aluminum was worth the extra money to do it once and do it right. Well, it makes the house look dramatically different. This antique copper finish sort of reminds me of what you see on cathedrals in Europe and that sort of thing. It's sort of a timeless look, so it added a lot to the appearance of the house. Well, I noticed a change right away. The week that they installed in August, it was in the mid-90s, 94, 96. And when we got the old dark colored material off and got the aluminum on, it made a dramatic difference inside the house, probably the better part of 10 degrees cooler. I work nights and sleep late in the mornings, and so the house is cooler, and that helps a lot since we don't have air conditioning, so it made it a lot easier to sleep in warm temperatures, and it's worked out very well. Oh, absolutely, yeah, so I won't have to be up there 3-4 times a year now putting moss killer down and doing all of that work. It appears that the rain does most of the work. It just, whatever lands on the roof, it washes it down into the gutter, and so saves me 3 or 4 trips a year up on there, the ladder and slippery roof and in the rain and all that. So this one is pretty much maintenance free. No, Paul walked me thoroughly through the process, so I had a good idea of how things were going to work day to day, and the installers also were very clear and brought me up on the roof and showed me what needed to be repaired, and so they walked me step by step through the process, so there wasn't much concerns or questions coming. Yes, the last time I had the house roofed 29 years ago, it was a crew of 6, and so 2 guys showed up, and it's kind of like, where's the rest of the crew? But they did it all within a week, and they're very efficient, cleaned up afterwards and everything, did a beautiful job. No, they handled it very well. The crew was very efficient and very professional, and they got it all done in a week, and the results are beautiful. Well, I have the neighbors walked by, and I've gotten a lot of comments on it, and a couple of friends of mine have been looking at it and may choose to go the same direction. One of my friends is a Boeing employee, so he's really up on the advantages of aluminum, and so he was looking at it and was very interested in it, and might be going with you guys in the near future. No, it worked out real well, Rob. Paul came out and spent an hour or so and showed me all of the materials and how it's installed and what would be involved and how long it would take, and it pretty much all went according to plan, and so the experience worked out very well for me. It was done in a prompt manner in less than a week, and everything worked out fine. With the old one, I had concern about leaks as the shingles had been curled and everything, and so I take pride of ownership in the house, so I wanted the best looking product I could get on here. And now that it's done, I'm very happy with how it turned out, and a lot of comments from the neighbors, and everything said about it has been positive. Pride of ownership would be one, and satisfaction that the job was well done, and also relief at the fact that this isn't something I'm going to have to do a few years down the road again. Paul had samples, and I had looked on your website, and there was a house down on Puget Sound in Burien that you have on the website that had this antique copper, and says that's the one, got to have that. Real good job from beginning to end. Like I says, I'm very happy with the lower temperatures and everything, and told people that did a lot of research and came to the conclusion that you guys had the best product on the market, and your warranty was part of the decision as well. So that's why I chose to go with Interlock. Quality would be one word, and pride would be another, and satisfaction that the job was well done and it looks great. I would say quality. It's inspires pride of ownership. It's obviously a top quality product, and it's going to look great for a long time. Well, if they're going to stay in the house for a number of years, that they want to do it one time and do it right, and not have to do it again 10 years down the road. So my advice would be, if you're going to stay in the house, you like the house, spend the extra money to go ahead and get a lifetime roof put down. You won't have to do it again.